I'm Brant. He's Chris. We put on a show you just can't miss. He says cowabunga.
Ah!
Joe, welcome to the Chris
Oh,
and Brant show.
I didn't expect the figures.
I had that visual aid. We got to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, we do. Oh, man. I was actually just thinking the other day, I would love to get I have a Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow figure. I would love to get the shirts for Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, and I'd love to get the either the 3 or the 6-inch figures one day.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. But anyway, we've got sponsors for this Chris and Brant show.
We do.
We've got Sweet Tarts from Halloween. I'm still eating Halloween candy.
Courtesy of
And
Trick or Treat. Yeah.
Pepsi. Still
And
not sponsored by them. I'll just take Pepsi.
We've got Snyder's of Hanover pretzels, family size, fat free. America's Pretzel Bakery since 1909.
So wait, it's family size and fat free, but if only one person eats it, is it still fat free?
It is.
Even
Go
though it's
figure that
family
one out.
size.
Yeah.
I wanted to brain mess up our viewers. Now you gotta think.
I missed my mouth.
Excuse me a second.
I missed my mouth.
This is not brought to you by Shock Tarts. It's all grape.
Oh. And sweet tea. In a beer stein.
Ugh.
Yuck to my sweet tea or yuck to your grape sweet?
The grape thing. Sweet tea is good, especially if you have a lot of sugar with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we are here today, or tonight, on this glorious night. Sunday, for most of you, it means Walking Dead, but for us, it's the beginning of a new series that hopefully will last long, wow, I was going to say longer, but that's not possible yet, but as long and further as The Walking Dead, and that is Enter the Badlands.
Or Into the Badlands, either one.
Was it Into the Badlands?
Into the Badlands.
Why don't you correct me about you see this?
I thought you got it. I thought you corrected yourself earlier. I'm so sorry.
Into the Badlands.
Into the Badlands.
Thank you. Episode 1 happened today. I saw advertisements for this actually at the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead. It was actually, I remember watching the season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead, and I saw that commercial and I said, I need to watch that series when it came out because the advertisement, the trailers for it, the TV spots were spectacular. There was little plugs here and there at New York Comic Con. And Brent, I'm glad you watched it too. I mean, I think I showed you the commercial and you showed a little bit of interest when I showed it to you.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it before. I know they actually showed footage at San Diego Comic Con, but I hadn't heard about it until you pointed it out, and I was like, oh. That sounds interesting. And then I watched the footage, and I was like, oh, wow, it's martial arts. I'm there. I mean, it's pretty cool. Sword fighting, martial arts. It hooked me with just that alone. So
Now, we're going to try to stay spoiler-free for the first half of the show so we don't spoil it for those of you that didn't watch yet. But then in the second half of the show, we're going to get a little bit more spoilery. This show is completely dedicated to just Into the Badlands, episode 1, by the way, guys. This isn't a random everything show. It's a one-thing show, like we do when we do DVD reviews. I'm falling over my words, hand over fist right now. Anyway,
they'll
it
understand.
is. Actually, I just have to do something. There we go. I feel better now. It's been bugging me. I'm looking at it, and it was open. Anyway, this episode had...
It was bugging me. I don't know. I was just hitting stuff.
It was the other laptop.
Oh, okay.
And I just keep hearing it like revving up in the background.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So the first episode, I thought when there was an action scene, the action was awesome. I loved the twist with one of the characters that the main character, Sonny, was introduced to at the very beginning of the episode. He was being held by, what were they? Not bandits. They were...
nomads.
Nomads, which are kind of like bandits. And he wanted to know why this kid is so special that he was locked up, and being held prisoner by these people. And we get introduced to Sonny throughout this entire episode and how he works for a baron. There are about 4 barons.
5.
And 5 barons. 4, I'm right. There are 4
other ones.
barons.
Yeah, right.
There's 5 barons altogether, but he works for this specific baron. I don't know what his name is.
Can't remember his name either, yeah.
But One of the other 4 barons died, so one of the 4 barons is actually the wife, the widowed wife, and they actually call her the widow.
Mm-hmm.
But we get a background on Sonny and how he works for this baron, and they found him since he was a kid. He trained with them. He became a killer. He has like a bunch of tattoos on his back that tattoo all the people he's killed for the baron. And the baron has this huge training facility. Either you're a slave or you're a cutter, as they call them. And those are the people that fight for. It's basically the baron's army.
Mm-hmm.
And all throughout the episode, we get little tidbits on how this kid is connected to Sonny and how Sonny, you know, what his whole life's been like. And the connection with the kid, like I said. And then we find out about a girlfriend, and there's a twist with a girlfriend. And now he's starting to question being a part of the Baron's kingdom. The Baron notices this and makes steps to bring Sonny closer to him.
They also, at the very beginning of the show, kind of outlined, I am getting a slight echo again, outlined kind of the setting. Yeah. Kind of the setting for the whole thing. They didn't exactly specify, I don't think, what year or whatever, but it is kind of a
year.
Yeah, it is kind of I think it's a future post-apocalyptic kind of thing. They talked about abolishing guns, training everybody with swords. There are like cars and motorcycles and stuff like that we see throughout the show. So we know it's not, it seems like it's taking place like in the 1800s, kind of mixed with feudal Japan. You know, because you got the Baron's like a plantation owner kind of character.
And the cars are older. The cars older.
Yeah, the cars looked like from like the 30s, I think. 30s or 40s or something like that. So we're not exactly sure, but it is in more modern times as opposed to what you might think just looking at the trailer. So.
And we also get a little bit on the Baron's son, his wife. We do get to see the widow Baron in this episode as well. You will learn to hate the son, not trust the mother, the wife of the Baron. You'll question the Baron, but I wonder, like, I don't think the Baron is evil, but I could be wrong. From this first episode, it looks like he's kind of like that neutral character that could be evil, could be bad. We need to see more before we can actually make a complete and utter judgment on whether he's the good guy, the bad guy, the antagonist, or just somebody who unfortunately is going to get in the middle.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So the episode was great, though. I loved it. Brent, what did you think of the episode, going from beginning to end into action and whatnot now?
I loved it, too. The action brought me in, and I felt like there was enough story there to pull me, you know, to follow it as well. There was enough interesting characters. Sonny is an interesting character. The boy he finds is a very interesting and intriguing character. And as a matter of fact, I don't think there was one character that we were introduced to that didn't have some kind of interest or intriguing element to them. So there was tons of people to latch onto depending on, you know, your preference of characters.
I agree. So that's the abbreviated version. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. Would you, Brant?
100%, yeah.
If you like sword fights, if you like martial arts, this is going to like. From what I understand, Cap found out that it's, I believe, 6 episodes tentatively. I don't know if it's just 6 episodes until a mid-season finale or 6 episodes in total. Walking Dead was about the same for the first season. I guess they're testing the waters for Into the Badlands before they actually dedicate 18-ish episodes, 16 to 18 episodes for it. So for right now, we get 6. 6 is good enough for me. I'm really excited to see where this series goes. Definitely check it out. If you haven't checked it out, I believe it's on. There'll be an encore, and we already passed the encore for tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, with the AMC, they might you might have to sign in with your cable provider. I don't know, but it might be up on AMCTV.com. Yeah.
I hope they get like a Hulu contract at some point.
Yeah.
Or Netflix.
One warning to squeamish viewers. It is on AMC, so if you've seen Walking Dead, if you've seen other shows that they've put on there like Hell on Wheels and stuff, you know that they kind of amp up the violence. And with this being martial arts and sword fighting, there's very graphic violence at times.
I was let down by one thing. The blood splatter and the blood in the actual series, it is exactly like The Walking Dead, like when you would cut a walker or you stab a walker and the blood would shed. It looked exactly the same, and I was like, I know we're on the same channel, we could have done different I feel like they could have done different graphics. It could have been done better.
I can see that, but I
But it
think
didn't take anything away.
yeah, I can forgive that because of the way the kills happen. With there's some creative killing going on.
Yeah. They definitely consulted a lot of professionals.
Yeah, this is heavily choreographed scenes there. I mean, oh, we'll talk about when we start talking in depth. We'll talk about some of those very brutal scenes.
Exactly. All right, so that's your abbreviated.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Into the Badlands episode 1 yet, take the video right now and pause it. Put in your watch later pile. Come back to us later because we're about to go into some in-depth, from beginning to end of the episode review of this episode. And if you don't want to be spoiled, if you don't want to know what happened in depth, come back later and see what our opinions are as we go through the episode. We were going to do a live viewing of it, but we had a lot of things going on tonight, so we didn't. Maybe we'll do it for the finale instead. But for right now, we're going to go through the episode. So we'll give you guys a couple of seconds to pause the video, and then we'll move forward. Since I did the abbreviated, Brant, you've got the spoiler section this time around.
Okay. I will try to remember the timeline of events throughout the episode. If I don't, maybe you can correct me, or we'll just be a little off. The show opens up with Sonny driving down the street, down the road or whatever, on his motorcycle, and he comes across and I'm not going to go play by play. This is just to illustrate the first encounter.
The first scene is important.
Yeah. So he finds all these dead bodies, and he's trying to figure out what's going on with them, why they're just left on the side of the road, but there was one missing. So he goes in search of these nomads, as we find out later. He comes across them. He sees they have a trunk. He assumes they're human trafficking. They deny it. So, of course, what happens? They attack him. And one by one, he just disperses of every single one of these guys in some of the most creative ways I've ever seen. He put his sword, propped it up against his motorcycle, didn't even use his sword. They were coming at him. Yeah, I did too. They were coming at him with machetes and spears and all this other kind of stuff. And, man, he was like taking their limbs, twisting them 360 degrees. Yeah, doing this. One guy, he tore his legs, pulled them over his head. Did you catch that one? He's like laying down and he's like,
pain.
Huh?
I was in pain watching.
I know. And, the last nomad was just sitting there waiting, and he got up and he started fighting. He actually got a few licks in. He seemed like he had some similar training, but not good enough. So Sonny took all them out and found out there was a kid in the trunk. So he takes this kid, the kid tries to run. He knocks him out, and he takes him and is trying to figure out why he's running, why they thought he was special. And, he's very secretive at first. He doesn't want to give too much away. But we find out that the widow that you mentioned, the widow Baron, had hired these nomads to find him. But we don't know why yet. We find that out later. So he takes them back to his camp to serve the Baron, either work in the poppy fields.
Wasn't it the fortress or the fort?
Fortress, the fort, yeah. Takes them back to the fort, and there's like these big high walls. All the Barrens, all the Badlands are encased in these borders. So it's kind of like Secret Wars a little bit, Battle World in a way. So they got all these barriers and everything, and I guess each Baron and their family or whatever stick to one section of that whole built-in.
And by family, you basically mean kids that they bring in that either are slaves in the field or, like I said, cutters who are trained to be like an army.
Was it cutters or clippers?
One or the other.
Okay, I know.
Either way, you use it to cut your lawn with.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they called them colts when they came up to the next level before they became whatever Sonny is. Anyway, they had like different distinctions for each one of them. So they brought in this kid, and they put him into the pit to find out what he's made of. But this other kid like steals his medallion, and so he flips and hits the dude, and later on we see an altercation with them, and that kind of leads us to find out why this kid is so special. Let's see. In the meantime, we're getting to meet all these different characters. We meet the Baron.
About the Baron at this time also with the headaches and everything.
Yeah. The Baron is he goes in and he's talking to his wife. He's about to marry a second wife, and she's not too happy about it. And he's got these headaches, these blinding headaches. It looked like he was about to pass out.
I thought he was going to die on the spot.
He may very soon, because we learn about his son too. His son is kind of
he wants to go to war.
Yeah,
against the widow baron, just the widow baron, and the father doesn't, because he knows that the second he does that, the other barons are going to go to war with him because he's making a move on a baron and he wants to stay peaceful.
Right. And Sonny kind of advised him not to do it because of that very reason, and he tends to take Sonny's counsel over his own son's. And the son is very jealous of this, and we find this kind of builds up through the show. So we see that the son is kind of arrogant, he's kind of cocky, he's trying to prove himself, but at the same time he thinks he knows better than his father. And
I don't like the son, I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And we do get to see a twist at the very end of the episode with the son.
Yeah. But the mother tells the Baron, the Baron's wife tells him that your son's a lot stronger than you think he is. And that's kind of what leads me to believe, hey, if somebody's going to take the Baron out, I think it might be his son instead of another Baron.
I think so too.
So, that's very interesting. And you bring up the point about the Baron, how you don't know exactly where his thoughts are, where his loyalties truly lie. He watches Sonny up on the wall later on in the episode, kind of looking out, and he kind of talks to him about that. And he knows he's losing him. He knows he's losing Sonny, and he knows without Sonny, he's done.
Yeah, because Sonny's his bodyguard, literally.
Yeah, so, I'm not so sure that he's, like, just evil and a slave driver and all this stuff, but more so he wants to protect himself and preserve this family that he's built up. Mm-hmm. And he knows he can't do that without Sonny. But he knows Sonny has some kind of connection. I think he knows, and the mother definitely knows, because she recognized that medallion. I don't know if you caught that, but when the kid, all right, the Baron's son confiscated the medallion. Well, he got it from Sonny.
Sonny had it. Sonny, we see right before the son confiscates it, Sonny has his own compass. A watch compass, and in the compass, it's the exact same city.
Yeah,
that's on the medallion. But he hides his compass on time, but he has the medallion that the kid had.
Yeah,
and that's when the son took it from him, because the son is trying to get Sonny to side with him.
Yeah,
to get his father to go against the widow.
Yeah, exactly. So the kid later on, he sneaks in to steal it back. And I'm skipping over a very important part about that kid, but we'll get back to it. But the kid goes up there to steal it back, and that's when the Baron's wife sees the medallion, and you saw her eyes. She recognized that, so she knows about this place. So that puts another whole plot thread into there. I don't know where that's going. Maybe she's from that place. It's called Azra, as we learn when Sonny talks to the kid. But the important part about we'll go back to, because I skipped that too. Sonny went into, I'm assuming it was another territory.
I think it's like, from what I was understanding, it's like another little town inside of, like where all the clippers, cutters, whatever you call them, can go.
Okay.
Or like a town inside itself.
Yeah, maybe so. So we find out he's kind of hooked up with this doctor of sorts, this woman, and the twist, again, spoiler alert, this is all spoilers.
She's teaching him how to read before you get to
she's teaching him how to read. He apparently 3 months ago he couldn't even read his own name. So
he's trying to better himself. I think he's trying to make himself like the ultimate, like he's an ultimate martial artist, weapons man. Now, once he learns how to read, he's smarter also.
Yeah, which is interesting, because it kind of, if you look back into the actual plantation years and slavery and all that stuff, as awful as that was, there's some parallels there, because they weren't allowed to read. And we learned that Sonny is not supposed to have a family. He's not allowed to be with
anything.
Be with a woman, learn how to read, all this stuff. So he's secretly learning how to read. He's secretly with this woman, and we find out this woman is pregnant. So now he's freaking out, because he's got a family that he's not allowed to have, and death is the penalty for it. Mm-hmm. And so there's all this stuff. So we know that eventually he's going to have to leave. But, he's very loyal. He's been brought up in all this, and, but he knows that city. He's held onto that compass since he was a kid, and he took it off that boy.
So you know that he wants to go. By the way, there is something that might date this a little more. He mentioned the Cat in the Hat.
He did. He did mention the Cat in the Hat. So we know it's definitely after that was published.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very interesting. Okay, the kid.
Mm-hmm.
He was bullied by one of the other kids at the pit when he first got there. And that's the kid that he punched in the face, but the kid kind of beat him up a little bit. And he was a big kid, like twice as big as this kid. I don't even know this kid's name. It's like,
I forgot. He said it once in a brief scene.
Yeah, it was like Cade or Gabe or something.
It's a three-letter name. It was a three-letter name because this kid introduced himself to him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You get my back, I got your back," and he's like, "Fine." But you only heard the name once, and it's like, I forgot your name already, kid.
Yeah, exactly. It was a one-syllable name, long A sound, I think, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, this big kid, makes him bleed. He punches him, and he starts bleeding from his nose.
Mm-hmm.
And when he sees his blood, his eyes changed, and dude turned into a martial art master and super strength and kicked this dude into the wall through a window. And then
it was a mirror, and then he tossed the glass back at him.
Yeah, then he caught the glass as it was shattering. It was flying through and he throws it back at him and lands right in his eye. And then the kid just passes out. And when he wakes up, Sonny is taking him back to his hut, and he's like, "Okay, now I know why the widow wants you. Why are you this way?" And such and such. And he's like, "I have no idea. I've been like this since I was a kid. My mother and I went on the run. Then we got taken by nomads. We've been separated, and I've been looking for her ever since." But because he stole that medallion later on in the episode, he's set to be killed the next morning. So Sonny helps him escape. There's a sewer, outlet. So he finds his way out as the episode ends and runs through the poppy field. So Sonny helped him.
The mother saw it. And
the mother saw it. Yeah, the Baron's wife. She saw him escape. So don't know what's going to come of that, if they're going to go find him again. Maybe because she knows of this place, maybe she's going to let him go and maybe have him followed or something. We don't know. Another scene that we did not talk about was when Sonny went back to the girl and he decided he wasn't going to go and see her right now.
Yes, we missed that was the most action-packed scene of the whole episode. In my opinion.
It's pouring down rain, and he walks away into the alleyway, and there's a car, which, again, looked like one of those older cars. And then he notices he's being surrounded, and he's got like 4 or 5 guys around him. 4, thank you. And they're good. They each have 2 swords. He pulls out his 2 swords, and this is massive.
That's why this fight was better also, because in the first fight, he had no weapons. This time around, he's using his 2 swords.
Yeah, and he's flipping and flying everywhere, and they're coming at him with everything they got. He's like repelling all their swords at once, and very creative sword fighting here too. I mean, the way he takes them out one by one, and the last guy is really giving him a run for his money. He slices them 2 or 3 times, knocks him through a window, but he manages to grab his other sword, which he had dropped, slices the dude's throat, and the dude's like, and then the widow confronts him.
Because she was the one that was there to get his. She did it to get his attention. I love that one. I hate her already.
Yeah, and she was like, have you seen this boy with this medallion? And he's like, "It's not gonna happen." She said, "Oh, it will. You just don't know it yet," or whatever, something like that.
I was like, "I hate you. I hate woman."
Yeah, but man, dude, such a good episode and so many layers here.
The ending. The son.
Oh, the son. The son is with the Baron's new wife to be, right? Yeah.
No, it was the widow.
Was it the widow? I thought it was the new wife to be.
Are you sure?
It was one of them. It was either with the widow or the wife to be.
I couldn't tell. It was dark. I thought it was the widow Baron.
It might have been. You could be right. I thought it was the woman that was out in the field that he approached. Maybe you're right, though. It's one of the two. Either way, it's a twist.
Yes. Either way.
Either way, he's challenging his father's authority. He's making moves. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I felt like we got just enough story in this episode. I feel like you got Sonny's backstory a little bit. You know his motivations. You know what kind of trouble he's facing now. because you got the woman and the baby on the way and all this stuff, and you know that he's been searching for the city, or not really searching for it, but he's been dreaming
He's
about
knowing
it.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then you have this other kid who has these special abilities that we have no idea what that's all about. He's searching for his mom, and he's from the city, so there's a connection between him and Sonny. You got the Barons and their whole thing going on between the widow and the Baron that we saw, and then the Baron and his son.
And apparently there's going to be a war. I mean, they
Yeah.
showed like a huge. I love how they didn't do a next time on Into the Badlands. They did a series
Yeah. Right.
trailer.
This season.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I hate that for one reason. We saw things that we might not see until episode 6.
True.
You know what I mean? I would rather go step by step. Show the series trailer on TV or something. Don't do that at the end of this episode, because now we know some of those scenes are going to happen in the next episode, but we don't know what the next episode. I mean, obviously we can read about it, but I would have liked to have seen the scenes in the next episode instead of the scenes in the next 5 episodes.
Yeah. And I think they will from here on out. I think they just wanted to hook people in, because I'm sure a lot of people were thinking like we were, why doesn't Sonny leave with the kid and try to go find
I was
this place?
hoping.
Yeah.
I was hoping he'd leave. I was hoping to be him, the girl, and the boy.
Yeah.
And they would go into Badlands and search for this city.
But the thing is, the Baron already knows that he's thinking about it. He could see it, so he was like, why don't you move closer to the manor? Get away from the barracks, move closer, because I'll feel safer with you. But really, it was to keep an eye on him closer. So he knows he's got to be very careful, because if he just leaves, they'll go hunt him and kill him. So I think we definitely saw in the season preview that he's thinking that way. He's going to head towards that direction. But it made sense that he stayed for now. But, I think that's why they do that, to kind of show you, to hook you a little bit, to say, look at all this cool stuff coming. We saw the Widow fighting in action, so we know that she's no slouch either. So, I don't know. There's so much to enjoy about this, though. Like I said,
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got Sonny if you're a fan of the ultra warrior type guy. You've got
Highlander.
You've got this kid who's like this unknown variable that's got these powers, so he's kind of the underdog from, he's outcast, human cargo brought into this place. So you got him to root for and follow too. If you're into the bad guys, you got plenty to choose from there. So I don't know, there's a lot to love about this, especially if you're a martial arts fan and you're a fan of, layered storytelling like this.
I felt like I learned a lot about the Baron. I wanted to know more about Sonny. So for me, the story was okay. I definitely am hooked, like I said, for the whole series. The action really kept me in this entire episode. It was a seat grabber, because I did not get out of my seat until the episode was over. I didn't even think there were going to be commercials. The first 20 somewhat minutes, there was no commercial break. I was like, okay, we're going 55 minutes, no commercial break. Awesome. It's a 55-minute episode, but it wasn't. It turned out it was.
I think they only had two or three commercial breaks.
Three commercial breaks.
Yeah, it was very few. Yeah.
Obviously, it's just for the first episode. I'm sure by next time it's going to be an hour show, and there'll be like 4 commercial breaks instead of 2.
But even with The Walking Dead, I think they showed like the first 5 to 7 minutes before they go to commercial, usually. So, AMC's a little bit better about that.
I like that. I like that they give you a nice chunk of the episode before they're like, okay, you can go on your pee break now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love this. This definitely has me hooked all the way through until the end.
Yeah. I think with, I get your point about Sonny, but I think with Sonny, he's going to be that mysterious character that we learn bits and pieces slowly throughout the life of the show. And I kind of like it better that way, because if we were given his entire backstory, it would kind of put the mystery of who he is and where he came from out of it, because we kind of assume that he has this connection to the city. Even though he took it from that boy, I still think maybe that boy was related to him. Maybe that was his brother or something. So we just don't know. And I think it's more interesting to find that out gradually, because it keeps you, it keeps that mystery.
I 100% agree. Definitely. And I could see, I swear, if this ever went off the air, I could definitely see this as an ongoing comic series, maybe from Dark Horse or something.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of potential for story right now with this. And I'm talking about stories that are ongoing series stories, not mini-series stories. There's a lot you can do with this series. And AMC is awesome.
You could tell stories from all 5 Barons' lands.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of potential with this series.
I'm very happy with it. I was eager to watch this since August,
Mm.
and it was worth the wait. I am
Yeah.
excited for the next 5 episodes. If you didn't watch Into the Borderlands after hearing everything we talked about here, I
Badlands.
would definitely recommend check it out. Especially if you're a fan of sword fights and martial arts and action with drama. There was, I guess, Kat was right when she said that they had to put a lot of the Barron's family in and everything for the drama, and they had to keep Sonny there for drama. But
Yeah.
man, I love this. Between this and Ash versus Evil Dead, I don't know which one. Both shows are equally awesome for their own special ways. But I'm really glad I'm watching both shows plus The Flash.
Yeah. Yeah. This one, I don't know. I love shows like this. You mentioned Highlander, and I kind of feel like it has that because Highlander had that action throughout.
Mm-hmm.
He was always fighting somebody, but it also had the relationship drama and the other kind of drama with people coming in trying to mess things up in his life and stuff. And I feel like it's got elements of all that as well. So yeah, I 100% recommend this. I think it was a fantastic first episode. Can't wait till the next one. And it's funny because neither one of us remembered or realized that it was this week that it was
I know.
going
I
on.
thought it was next week.
Yeah, I saw Kat talking about it in our group me conversation, and I was like, "Oh, that's tonight. I wonder if Chris knows." So I messaged Chris. I was like, tonight's Into the Badlands, right?" He's like, "No."
I was like, no, ... Well, looks like I have something to watch. 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Is it going to be 10 o'clock every time, or are they moving it now? Because there's Talking Dead. Or are they going to do this for the next 5 weeks, and then I guess when Walking Dead comes back, Talking Dead will be right after it again?
I would assume it'll. Well, I don't know. It might be in between the two, in between Walking Dead and Talking Dead. Either that, or it'll be Walking Dead, Talking Dead, then Into the Badlands. I'm not sure.
I don't think it should be pushed back, because I think if you push the time back for Into the Badlands, you're going to lose an audience.
Yeah.
With Talking Dead, it's really a recap of the episode that people watched at 9 o'clock. I think either that or move Into the Badlands onto a different day, not Saturday, because that's when I watched Ash versus Evil Dead, which I missed this week due to a lot of work on Saturday. But still, I would not recommend moving it to Saturday. But Into the Badlands definitely needs to keep that 10 o'clock timestamp. Maybe switch it with Walking Dead. Make Into the Badlands at 9 o'clock, Walking Dead at 10, Talking Dead 11:30 or 11.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember other shows that they did that when they debuted them during Walking Dead, and it was kind of the similar way. I don't remember what they did with that, so I don't know. We'll just have to see next week how they lay it out.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the truth. For 6 episodes, I don't think they're going to move it, but if it's a really good show, I could see them moving into a primetime spot for season 2.
Oh, yeah, I could too.
And it's going to get, if every episode is as good as this one, it's going to get a season 2. It's going to get 3 seasons guaranteed by the end of this season.
I would be surprised if either a longer, more episodes of this season or a second season wasn't ordered really soon, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll even wait for the upfronts. I think it's one of those. It seems too good to me. I think it'll be picked up really fast.
I agree. It definitely deserves to be picked up. It is an action, sci-fi, samurai thriller that you need to watch.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
I wouldn't say samurai. Sword fighting.
Not really samurai, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. This is martial arts if you love martial arts shows, like I'm talking Jackie Chan kind of stuff, only a little darker.
Yeah, not the funny Jackie Chan stuff.
No, not the funny Jackie. I'm talking about the stuff that came out of Japan, Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Except Drunken Dragon.
But on an action level, think a little bit of Bruce Lee, a little bit of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Not so much fantasy as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where they were flying on treetops and stuff like that. But that level of choreography, that level of action, and some really strong brutality. So
it's got a good sci-fi twist to it. I love it. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
So AMC, man, there are some really great series that are coming out this fall. I've already attached myself to 2 brand new series now. with Ash vs. Evil Dead and Into the Badlands. I finally jumped on board with The Flash. What's next? Well, Fear the Walking Dead when it comes back in another, 4 or 5 months? Maybe 6 months?
Probably.
About 6 months. I believe Walking Dead ends. Fear the Walking Dead begins, basically, when the season's over.
Yeah.
And it goes into the next year of Walking Dead. I don't know.
Probably.
Either way, though, I'm loving what I'm watching.
Yeah. There's actually a new show. It's not really your thing, but there's a new show I'm excited to watch coming to MTV. Teen Wolf is coming back on January 5th, and with Teen Wolf is a new fantasy show. It's based on a novel series called the Shannara Chronicles, and
Okay.
it's a half human, half elf, an elven prince, and some other dude on a quest or journey or something. It's kind of up my alley because I like fantasy stuff. But I thought it looked interesting. I watched the trailer today for it.
Nice. Sounds interesting, but I'm watching too much. I think 4 shows is my max because there's 4 shows plus wrestling, plus reading, plus writing.
Plus, you got to catch up on Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
And Jessica Jones drops this week, doesn't she?
Yep.
Kill me. Oh.
You got to finish Daredevil, dude.
Oh, damn right. I'm going to finish it before the second season comes out.
You got to finish it so we can talk about it.
I will finish it.
Okay. I'm not saying you got to finish it tomorrow.
No. I'm saying, even if we have to do Chris and Brant shows, watching each episode, because there's only, I believe, 6. I believe there's only 6 episodes. I watched it, 12?
13.
13.
I think. Yeah.
I could do 13 Chris and Brad shows, just not one back to back to back, but I mean, I could do them. I know we want to do a Star Wars one right before Force Awakens, and actually, that might be soon.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking after this show, so stay tuned for possibly a special Chris and Brand show this coming week. There's 6 movies.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm trying to think 6 weeks from now if it's come. Anyway, guys, it's the end of this show, at least. We'll talk off air about Star Wars, so look forward to Star Wars. We're going to be having fun going through those 6 movies, aren't we? You have all 6 movies, yeah? Oh, God.
I will have all 6 movies.
He will.
Some way, somehow. They were here, they're not here anymore.
I'll kill him. I'll kill him if it doesn't happen. I'll kill him. I'll kill you if you don't. Well, you have a Redbox, right?
Yeah. I'll find a way, don't worry.
Okay, then.
And no haters out there saying I'm not a real fan because I don't own the movies.
I only own
I had them on VHS. They don't work anymore. The original ones.
The only reason I have the movies is because when the first 3 came out, they had that set for the last but first 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the other ones were coming out, I just grabbed them one at a time as they were coming out. So, yeah. I'm waiting for a Blu-ray. There is a Blu-ray set of the full movie set, but I'm not getting that yet.
Yeah. Like I said, I had the originals on VHS once upon a time.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah.
We all did. We're the VHS era.
Wore out Empire Strikes Back. That was the first one to go. I've seen that movie so many times.
You gotta watch it one more time at least.
I'm happy to. It's funny. I was looking for him yesterday. I was like, oh man, we don't have him anywhere because I wanted to watch one.
I'm gonna kill him if he doesn't have it, especially if we have to do episode 1 this week. I will not suffer through Jar Jar Binks alone.
I'm telling you, Jar Jar Binks is Kylo Ren.
But I'm telling you guys one thing right now. If we are starting Star Wars this week, Gods and Monsters, that'll be like a special on the weekend if I have the time to watch it at that point then, because then it's like I've got 6 weeks worth of 6 movies to watch.
We'll see. I had an idea.
Oh, you haven't? Well, we have.
We'll talk about it.
Yes, we got to stop talking on the air. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. Brant's going to do his almighty song to sing us out.
I'm not going to. You want me to do the song again? It's the same song.
Okay, well, do a dance with the figures and then sign us out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I'm done. You guys can check us out. You can check out the playlist for the rest of the Chris and Brant shows. Check us out. Zone4podcast.com, lastnumberpress.com, commentfrontline.com. Where's My Tail, Dark Avenger C86. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
How you like me now?
Damn.
I started. It's late. Oh, I gotta stop it. Bye, everybody.